Okay, I'm gonna play this solo for a while because I actually did enjoy that. It seems like this game is a little smoother. I still feel like the second level is butts, but we're gonna just do some solo business and rank up and blah blah blah. Because I want to be able to hold my own the next time, and I want to have enough HP that I don't get one shot by those freaking snipers. That's my main deal. I will say, enemies die a lot faster in solo mode, which makes sense. I think I will always be of the camp that if I'm playing multiplayer, I'd rather the enemies not actually be tankier. I'd just rather there be more enemies. That's probably a bad thing, and I'm sure there's a reason why it's balanced as such. But like, I used to play Nazi Zombie Army, not a lot. But I used to play a decent amount of Nazi Zombie Army here and there in like the early days of my YouTube channel. And one setting that I really liked is you could change how hard the zombies were going to be and how many there were going to be. And I felt like that was super good. And like, sure, maybe make the bigger enemies bigger. But I always hated it in Borderlands and a couple other games where you just, let's see, do I want to go corrosion or fire? Or extra damage against enemy and an elemental effect. I feel like elemental rage is probably the way to go. Just because this wild hunt does not have an element on it. And I don't know if there's anything better. Shell escaped with my thing. It's about time for me to get just like an egregious hangnail. And I hate that. Let's see. But so, like, with Borderlands, it always just made all of the, like, really beefy enemies too beefy, and it stopped being fun and more of a slog. And so, like, I'm the kind of guy that really digs fighting, like, loads and loads of enemies and just, like, mowing through them. Like, these guys, this right now feels real good. Once they start getting a little tougher, then it's just kind of like, okay, can you die now? Especially with, like, long reload times and some other stuff. But, is what it is what it isn't, I don't know. Pick this up, let's go through here. Yeah, it's much easier to just raise the stats. Oh, I'm fully aware. I'm just talking from, like, a fun perspective. And maybe it would be one of those where I'd actually love to see more mutators. So you could choose. Because, like, what was I playing recently? I was playing Pamela recently. I rather appreciated the admittedly basic difficulty settings that they had in the game, which is like, how much energy do you want? Or not energy, how much health do you want the enemies to have? How much damage do you want them to do? How much damage do you want to do? Ooh, that's good. Let's see, what else could you do? There are a couple, like, little perks along the way there. And like, those settings were nice. I think I'm just going to keep playing with everything in, like, 1, because I don't need more than that, but still. See, Borderlands 3 has fewer issues with multiplayer than 2. Because higher-end builds, in at least its current state. Build can hold its own. Mayhem multiplayer is quite balanced. I honestly have not actually touched Borderlands 3. We got midway through to the point where a certain character gets killed. And that was kind of the point where I just checked out on the game. Just because it had my least favorite trope ever, which is the dumb child character ruining things for people. And anytime a game does that, it just sucks. I just don't like it that much. Let's see. I don't really care about any of these. I'm going to go for the lightning damage. I don't know if I'm going to find a lightning weapon, but I do tend to prefer the lightning weapons. With the exception of maybe Prism, but I could be wrong. Let's see. All enemies transformed in horned beetles. Oh, that's fine. I will admit, it seems like the enemies also do less damage in single player. I could be wrong, but I'm not getting melted as fast. I think it's probably just less enemies overall. Okay, let's see. So off topic, Wander, what do you feel about the Mixer thing shutting down? I think it's bullshit, and I think that's the sort of thing that that companies need to be very careful about. And part of the reason why I never got into Mixer in the first place, because it seemed like it was... Mixer is the same thing as Wildstar. I don't know how many of you guys saw Wildstar back in the day. Extra crit, however, half weapon damage when not hitting the weakness. I think I'm going to skip that one. I don't think that one's very good. Let's see. Anyway. Wildstar was marketed to be a World of Warcraft killer. And it was not bad. I actually liked the world design almost as much as WoW, because it was just kind of this charming sci-fantasy situation. You know, a lot of maybe overly quirky characters, which was a bit of... I think that kind of thing gets a little tiring. But I loved the visual design. I followed the artist. I've been following the artist since forever. Why am I stuck on nothing? Seemingly nothing. Let's see. But, like, it was kind of fun. It was kind of quirky. It was trying to beat World of Warcraft at its own game. And people freaking hated it for it. Or, hated it? No, no one gave a shit. That's the real difference. There's a difference between hating a game and then just not caring. And that was the problem with the game, is that it just didn't have enough to stand on its own 2 feet. In such a way that anybody would move over. And because it was a sub-cost game, they just didn't have the player base because nobody wanted to make the switch. Do I go for Prism? Damn. It's pretty good. Pierce monsters, bounce off barriers. Doubles the elemental effect chance. Yeah, let's grab it. And a dump. I dig the Prism. It's good. Alexa's obsession with this thing was warranted. Let's see. Anyway, so when I saw Mixer was becoming a thing, I was like, I mean, that's cool. I like the idea of this. I like the idea of competition and whatnot, and if they do it right, it'll be good. And it was originally called, was it Scotty TV, or was it called Mixer? Mixer had another name before it was Mixer. And I almost kind of preferred that name. Mixer was just a little weird. Was it Scotty TV or something like that? And, so, you know, then Microsoft picked it up, and I was kind of like, that's a bad idea. It made sense, and it probably saved the company for another, like, couple of years. The problem is, Microsoft needed it to have comparative market dominance within X number of months or years or whatever. And without that, they were never going to back... It's not necessarily that they weren't going to back it, but, you know, they would eventually bail, because it's not financially worthwhile for them. And that freaking sucks, because that means there's a bunch of people that, like, have made their living on Mixer now, or have been trying to make their living on Mixer now, spending all of this time on Mixer. Oh, you're right, you can go down there. That looks like it blows. I'm not going to do it. Every 5 shots, next shot deals 50% damage. Yeah, sure. That seems reasonable. Let's see. Did I get any money from that? No, I didn't. That's fine. I'll get the other one. But, so... so with Mixer, because it didn't get that market dominance... Yeah, Microsoft pulled the plug earlier today, for those of you that do not know the news. And I know Mixer was kind of, like, here and there for a while. They tried buying, like, a bunch of big streamers and signing them on for, like, buttloads of money, in hopes of that somehow becoming a, you know, means of stealing the audience. But what happened is, like, maybe some people moved over, but honestly, for the most part, it very much was like a, who gives a shit, let's just find somebody else that plays the same game. And, like, those of you watching, how many of you guys would actually follow me if I switched platforms? Because I'm sure the answer would be a number, but not all of you. And probably not permanently. And I guess a number of people have followed me from, like, YouTube to Twitch. And so, like, I guess I could kind of see it. But I can't see it working out in, like, the long term. Especially with something, like, as bold-faced as that. Because chances are if I switched platforms, it would be because of some specific reason. Let's see, can I hit him through the shield? I have no idea. Didn't really give me the option to. Anyway, hello. Lifesaver. HP is reduced to 0. HP is fixed at 1 for 5 seconds. Killing any enemy within this duration will recover... Whoa! Oh, but it's a single trigger. Okay, so that's not quite as broken as I thought it was going to be. It's still broken. Do I care about this one? Extra accuracy, extra range. It's good. It's probably better than this Angelic Aura. Yeah, I don't really know on that one. But yeah, so realistically, maybe I'm being a little bit too dismissive, but I feel like a lot of people probably would stick to Twitch and maybe like tune in a little bit. But it would be difficult to get you guys to move over, unless my reasons for switching platforms were very justified. Like if it turned out that Twitch decided to give like a whole bunch of money to... Oh, what's a good example right now? There's a lot of monsters that have been outed over the past 24 hours. And I think if Twitch decided to go all in on some of those folks, it could be problematic. Freaking... It's already hard enough avoiding these guys. The fact that they have homing shots is just kind of bullshit. Like, they should not be able to arc that around cover. Oh, boy. Because I can't... Because of Asshat McGee up here, I need to kill him, but I don't have the... Okay, he's dead. So now I can actually hang back here and get my shields back. Gosh, I just... Freaking longbowman. I don't like homing bullets. That doesn't feel good to me. Because I do a lot of, like, minor dodges to avoid bullets, and when the shots home in, it overrides that, and it feels bad. Okay. Here we go. I think I found your scrap mechanic content. Smack mechanic. Mechanic. I love it. And whenever, realized you're a variety streamer. And realized I didn't have one yet. Wait. Alright. And use Wander as a wish list. No offense. None taken. I used to use Total Biscuit as a wish list back in the day. And so... It's actually super flattering when people say that to me. Because I would use him to judge, like, hey, is the game going to be good or not? But yeah, I could see reasons why I would specifically bail on, I could see specific reasons why I would bail on the Twitch platform in general. Let's see. Haven't VIP retro yet. Oh yeah, I should remember that. Anyway. Do I like this? Actually, we should probably get the Scorching Fire. We want more elemental effects no matter what it is. Yes. Pick this up. Are there FOV settings? There is. I've got it up to 103. I could make it worse. I'm not sure if it's a good idea. Okay. Suddenly wanders on his lonesome. Yep. It's because Retro streams it too, and Alexa probably had something else to do. And, despite general grumps for this game, ooh, ammo capacity is doubled. I can't say no to that. Literally impossible. And let's upgrade this. Yeah, double ammo capacity. If I'm using the Prism, I'm good. Got me to buy that Tower Roguelite game. Look it up, but it had the barricade skill card thing. Slay the Spire, probably. Slay the Spire is good stuff. So you have the FOV turned all the way up. I could try it. Okay. Gotta save that. Gosh, I have not done a whole lot of damage to him in the slightest. It's actually a bit of an issue. Let's see if these do more damage. They probably will. Okay. Did I get some large ammo from that? Yeah, I did, but it didn't actually give me anything good. Oh, I did pick up a whole bunch of ammo from that. That's a good feeling. Okay, I could grab some more. Anyway, so I was talking about Twitch, Mixer, so on and so forth. So yeah, I can see reasons why I quit. Mainly having to do with like a lot of sexual misconduct and whatnot, because that sort of thing is disgusting, and I have zero tolerance for that kind of behavior. But even then, like, you really also do need a another platform to switch to. It's nice to put money where my mouth is and you know, really express my morals vocally, but like to some also degree, I do have to pay rent, which sucks because that does limit slightly what I'm allowed to do. And so like originally I was actually mildly kind of rooting for Mixer, and if it looked like Mixer was going to if it looked like Mixer was actually going to achieve the market dominance that they were looking for, I might have considered making the switch, just because I find Twitch to be a little reprehensible at times. They don't do a lot to, like, really protect, or they do too much to protect, like, bad streamers and whatnot. And that's super, super not okay. And so I'm kind of hoping, in light of everything that was, like, announced yesterday, they will actually do some good for once. Maybe. It sounds like they're at least paying lip service, which is good. Try to combine the elemental effects on him. I probably should. Ooh, throw a weapon, create an explosion. I'm gonna go for that. They don't protect bad streamers, they cause money. This is true. I don't really want that. You know what, actually, let's go back to the Scorching Rounds. If I can, if I get a guaranteed elemental effect between switching weapons, I should probably switch constantly. Bad vibes when I see the replies in the official Twitter tweets, and they're just kind of cool with that community. Yeah, and it's like, I don't like it, and that's part of the reason why I will, like, decry the company repeatedly for, like, some of this stuff, because it's weird and gross, and it's not okay. But, you know, to some degree, after a certain point, you just don't have a choice, and that freaking blows, so I'll just kind of talk about it openly until either they shape up or some competitive service switches it around. Is Mixer shutting down official or rumor at this point? It's completely official. They've released all contracts and are telling people that the contracts will be honored if they switch over to Facebook, which barf, or, you know, you can switch over to YouTube or Twitch. Now, if YouTube was smart and kind of aggressive, they would actually probably try and poach a bunch of these people, because I think that could work. But I think YouTube also needs to step up its predator hunting game as well. They do a better job of it than any other platform. I think that's just because everybody's eyes are on YouTube constantly, whereas Twitch, for some mysterious reason, gets a pass. I think it's because it's trendy, whereas YouTube's around enough that everybody just gives it shit for existing. Alright. Okay. Okay, there we go. Ow! Double ow, that hit the freaking barrel. Oh, good. They got all their shields back. That's fun. Is YouTube's community any less toxic than Twitch? YouTube has a history with copyright takedowns is interesting. So, hot take? I'm actually super cool. Oh, it's corrosive. That would explain some things. I'm actually super cool with a lot of what YouTube does in terms of copyright takedowns. Mainly just because a lot of other platforms do an absolutely shit job at policing copyright infringement. And so, like, I know it's easy to just be like, YouTube's at it again with the takedowns. But, like, most of the time it's doing more good than it's doing bad. It's just the bad ones don't get punished, and that freaking blows. Accountability is important, and I think many websites need this. Because a lot of governments don't want to police the internet, because it's risky and awkward, and I totally understand that. But at the same time, it's like, that's how you get a lot of this, like, weird shit. But the main thing is just that, like, YouTube is trying to police better, more actively than a lot of other platforms. So there's kind of that. But even then. Anyway, so going back to the Twitch versus... What are you? Why is this locked off? Okay, I can't go through that. I guess it's just probably blocked off for the sake of procedural generation. I will absolutely say, like, YouTube does need to crack down more on the people that abuse their systems for ill. You know, it's not uncommon to run across some... it's not uncommon to run across... Sorry. Not uncommon to run across, like, a developer or something that's been screwed over because... some asshat decided to copyright claim the whole soundtrack because they did a remix or they worked on the project or because shitty garbage. I don't know. Anyway, Mixer, we're talking about that. There's a lot to unpack here, and there's a lot of, like, pseudo context. But so, you know, if Microsoft had actually kept up with it, I think it actually would have been good. But the thing is, they wanted it to be immediately and amazingly profitable, and it was not. And what ended up happening as a result is effective today, Mixer's shutting down. I don't think it's done yet. But it's coming soon. I'd rather have an Argus than this thing. Do I want a rainbow? Which is the rainbow? What art? Huh. Ray seems interesting, but it's not elemental focused, so I think I'm going to leave it alone. A rainbow is aimbot. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I know people are still streaming on the platform. But still. Okay, shutting down July 22nd. So we effectively have a month. Let's see. Do I want to do this? Oh, so I mark them and then I shoot. Okay, sure. Let's give this thing a go. It seems interesting. More interesting than the Argus. Let's see. Okay, gotta get in first. Okay, so I don't actually have to mark things. It'll just aim at whatever's nearest to me. That's kind of good. Oh, good. We got another one of these. It's actually officially too many enemies. At least I've got corrosive damage, so I can take out the snipers pretty quick. Wish there were kind of passive stat upgrades like movement speed and like a double jump in this game. That'd actually be kind of super nice. Stop toasting my butt. Why are you so fast? Like, your speed is not acceptable. Well, at least this thing has a shit ton of ammo, so I can just blow through the... Oh, marking the crit spot means endless crits. God, I'm stuck on, like, everything. Okay, that is actually really helpful. I appreciate that. Okay, let's see. So, I will get through this topic eventually. And so, yeah, if Microsoft had kept with it, I bet actually Mixer would have slowly grown into kind of its own functional thing and done fairly well for itself. But yeah, because it had to be profitable immediately, it wasn't. It didn't make it, and so they're shutting it all down. And the thing is, people are on that platform. This would be like, would be a good example. Oh, this would be like, would I say McDonald's? Maybe? I don't know. I guess the easiest way I could say, this would be like Patreon shutting down. Or, Patreon, or what's the one where Etsy? If Etsy shut down. And admittedly, like, both of those platforms have their own issues and, you know, probably need a hard look at certain things. But effectively, like, they just pulled the rug out from underneath a ton of people. A ton of people that I know. And, you know, have never actively... Oh. Okay, that's pretty good. That's real good. This is really goofy. I'll give credit where credit is due. That sniping mark is going to be kind of handy. Okay, let's just, mow through these guys. It's good. It's not as good for, like, random shots. In my opinion. But it's good. Okay. And so, yeah, all of a sudden you have a bunch of creators, streamers, and so on and so forth that effectively are going to have to figure out, like, what the shit they're going to do with themselves over the next couple of years. And I'm betting a lot of them are going to be able to somewhat pivot over to YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. And their audiences will follow. I mean, it's not like they have too much of a choice. It's not like you can stick to Mixer. But, like, this should have been something, like, 3 months notice at least. You know, move everything over, get used to the change, kind of inform yourself. And I'm glad that they gave everybody a month. That's better than I was expecting when I first heard the news. I thought it was going to be, like, maybe not end of week, but, like, I don't know. Really got to get good at hitting the crit point. That makes a massive difference. I mean, go figure, but still. But yeah, I thought it was going to be like you have a 48 hours thing. But ultimately, what's the point of streaming on Mixer at this point? And you could also, one other thing is that if you pay attention to, like, Ninja and Shroud and a couple of the, like, big people that were signed on, most of them have updated their Twitch pages. Most of them have updated their Twitch pages. They might not have streamed recently. And that means they had advance warning that everybody else didn't have, probably because they didn't want the news to leak, and so, you know, they put all these guys under NDA. But it freaking sucks. Because that means there's, like... I mean, obviously the favoritism is natural and normal for all of these companies, but it just... It just sucks from the perspective of, like, think of all these people that have been streaming for the past week, effectively putting their hopes and dreams into growing their community over there, only for that rug to be ripped out from underneath them this morning. Yesterday, there was specifically... Oh, we've got more. Yesterday, there was some people that came out effectively talking about how some of the upper management at Mixer is kind of racist. Ow. This ain't working. We need some arrows. Or not arrows, we need cripes. A little bit more here than I was expecting there would be. Okay. Got him dead. That freaking turret is a bit much. Luckily, they're stuck on each other, so that works in my favor. Okay, it's dead. Good. I didn't know he had a gun. This gun absolutely slaps in close quarters. Up close? Okay. Oh, come on. Rocks are supposed to be my friends, not yours. Okay, there we go. Let's get my shields back. Okay, there we go. Say goodbye to your shields. Probably use a lightning gun. If this thing was lightning, it'd be great. Let's see. So for streaming platforms, there's Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, apparently, and anything else, really. No, that's pretty much it. There used to be a couple other competitors that were actually pretty good a couple years ago, but as far as I know, they've, like, completely dropped off the map. Okay, we don't want the Shrieker. Bone Dragon would be interesting, but it just doesn't have the damage scaling for this point in the game. How am I doing? I really should have more than 85 soul points, or whatever they're called. But yeah, it's just, it's both, it's equal parts kind of disgusting and disappointing that, that, you know, a platform can just shut down that fast with, like, I'm not going to say no repercussions and no support plan, because they do actually have a support plan. I'll give Microsoft credit where credit is due. They are trying to set people up saying, like, hey, we've got, ow, cripes, alright. I know that there's a second one if I went up, but I don't think I want to go for it. Extra weapon damage and skill, but crit no longer performs extra damage. That's terrible. Now, do I want to go for the hard one? I don't think I want to do. Let's see, I guess there's... I guess there is, like, Steam streams. Like, you can do that as well, but, like, I don't know. I'm actually doing really well. I'm kind of surprised. And I think this is just kind of the ephemeral nature of the business, and luckily there are alternatives. But, like, I can easily put myself in the same position that all of these people are feeling. In fact, I'm probably actually going to reach out to a couple of my, my Mixer friends now that they're off the platform and probably be like, yo, how you doing? Do you want to... You know, what are your plans? And see if they have a, you know, if they have an exit strategy. I know one of them worked at Microsoft, too. Alright, I don't think I even talked about the Mixer controversy from yesterday. So, the other thing that might be contributing to this, though I guess this has been known for a little while, but there was like, there's some news that one of the people working at Mixer, like one of the upper management, was like effectively talking about how content creators were her slave and a bunch of were her slaves and a bunch of other things, and how people latched onto that as like, holy shit, that's not okay. And it's true, that's not okay. You got to shoot like the top side of the hat for that one. Wild. Let's see, collab with them and gain support through you. Yeah, kinda. I mean, I think a lot of them are more than capable of... Hello. Restore some HP, lose HP, get some weapons. Upgrade Inscription 4. I'm gonna upgrade the Prism, I think. I like the Rainbow, it's good, but the Prism is my killer. Nah, I don't need any of this stuff. Just keep hoping I'm gonna find a dumpling. Let's see. Level that up again. So what'd that do? Extra projectiles, extra consumption. I'm fine with that. Extra projectiles and Prism sounds hilarious. That's standard new manager mentality. I've had 3 of those people at my workplace. They didn't last long. Yeah, but apparently she still worked there. Like, after this was reported to Microsoft and a bunch of other things. And, specifically, she had said it to, like, to the face of, like, a black lady and some other things, which, like, I mean, it's already pretty terrible to say that, but to say that to, you know, in that kind of context and so on and so forth, and then for Microsoft to say, yeah, that's not racist, it's like, what? She's not racist because she hired you. I'm sorry. That's not great. That's terrible. Ow. I'm not even sure what hit me. It might have been the snipey. It's probably the snipey. Hey, Dublin. And, like, I get it. Business is hard. Interpersonal relationships are hard. But they're not that hard. And so, yeah. So people were straight up, like, calling for Microsoft to do the right thing and, like, fire the lady and, like, you know, actually commit to some positive change. Let's see. She may be under HR process instead of being fired. If I were to call anybody seriously my slave... especially in such like a racially insensitive manner as that, I would deserve to be fired. I want to go for shock. I think I do. I like the rainbow, but we need something to eat shields. This also does a bunch of bonus damage. Yeah, this is good stuff. I can dig. Wait, didn't I get the lightning upgrades? Yeah, this is super worth it. That freaking hurt. How the hell did that hurt me? Got him. We got a dumping, and we got... Ooh. I don't think so. Like, the 25% chance to insta-kill on a crit, it's like, it's good. I just don't know if I crit that much. I don't think it's worth it. I think this is better. I know rate of fire is doubled, but the thing is, this thing, or is up by 25%, but this thing is, rate of fire is straight up doubled. Like, I'm firing twice as much. Quick question. Does Magic Magazine, when reloading, there's a 33% chance that no reserve ammo is used. Does that work with the kunai? Like, with the prism? Do I just get, every third shot is free? Going with that. Freaking hell yeah. Okay. Let's see. I think we're done with this one. I don't know if there's, like, really a difference between... But, like, no matter the justification, like, I hear a lot of business justifications for why these monsters aren't fired, but, like, I guarantee if the person had been a, like, lower on the totem pole, they would have been gone immediately. Because, especially in, like, the US, nobody is that valuable. And so, especially after a year of a review where they say, like, hey, no, she's not guilty or racist, we're not going to. Because she's not under... Oh, that's the peddler. She wasn't under review, she was just straight up exonerated by the company, and it's like, that doesn't sound... That doesn't look good on paper. And so, yeah, I doubt they're going to respond to that. And who knows, maybe the lady gets laid off with the death of Mixer, but it's very disappointing. Because I've actually been standing Microsoft a little bit ever since they came out with the Game Pass. And it sounds like they have been... I mean, all companies are like this, where, like, no matter how much you try and be good, there's always going to be weird shitheads on, like, middle management that ruin everything. And you either have to, like, stand by it or figure out how to, like, deal with the quagmire of getting rid of them. Hey, I got another dumping. But, like, she should not be fired because Mixer's dying. She should be fired because she's a racist monster. I'm gonna be very upfront about some of my opinions over the rest of this year. I don't think I'm gonna be able to help it. I'd like to go back to you know, childish innocence Wanderbot and just talk about video games. Oh, I need to change the title. It still says co-op. Sorry, I'll fix that in a bit. But I think I might stop after this run. I'm having a good run. I might want to keep going, but... Might also want to switch. Okay. I might also want to turn on my AC. It is hot in here. Yeah, I might play some more tonight. More of this, just because I fixed it. But with how the world is right now, it's hard to state your opinions. Yep. Especially because, like, for years, it's kind of one of those where it's like, I wouldn't say that I was silent, necessarily. I think I've always been rather upfront. Ooh, do I want shield recharge? No, let's go for the energy freeze. But, like, I've been around some pretty terrible people, and it was always one of those where, like, ooh, hey, we actually get to see the boss for once. That's uncommon. Can't upgrade any of these things. What do you got for me? Pretty much nothing I want to go for. I think all my ammo's good. Yeah, we're good. You've been subtle and polite is how I'd phrase it. Very true. But I've specifically gone out of my way to, I think, protect the sensibilities of people. Certain people that I vigorously disagree with, because I know that there's, like, no convincing them, and so I'm just gonna be polite and, you know, just leave them alone, because, you know, nothing I can do can change anything. But it's one of those that, I don't know where his weak point is. It looks to be the interior of his mouth. But only part of it? It's confusing. Oh, I'm on fire. That sucks. Okay, so far so good. I don't know what the hell this is. Oh, you can just shoot those out of the air. Well, that's kind of nice. Oh, this is a bad place to be. Well, I guess I'm just giving up. Gosh. Yeah, if you get stuck in the middle of that, you're just kind of toast. And I was up against the wall. I should have kept going left. But by the time I figured out what the hell was going on, it was, not good. Oh, let's see. So what upgrades do I want to invest in? I mean, upping my max shield by an additional 10 seems like actually kind of a good idea. Same thing with increasing my damage resistance. I don't know if the exclusive inscriptions are very good. Let's go for the damage resistance up until I can't anymore. And that's actually good enough. Cool. No matter what, I want to get up to the dimension pouch if I can. What level am I now? 18. Ouch. But yeah, just to finish my thought, I've just been around a lot of people that I was polite around because I didn't want to offend them. And I realized they've been relentlessly offending me my entire life. So after a certain point, I have to kind of question whether or not it's actually worth keeping the peace. Especially because they're always the ones that get like really upset when you finally talk back to them or deny them in any way, shape, or form. It's like, I've had a couple of family members that would say just terrible things for years. And one day I said, like, hey, that's super not okay with like what you just said. And they just turn right back around and start screaming at me, and I've been tolerating the entire time, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're just not worth it anymore. I apologize that we're here with that in Gunfire Reborn. I feel so bad for all of the Mixer streamers that now have to shuffle and reschedule their lives. Hopefully their audience can transfer over with them and they can continue on freely. But, like, I know a lot of burgeoning streamer gamer communities are effectively going to be silenced as of the next month. And there's just something kind of tragic about that.